Should I turn it off, turn it on? That's beautiful.
What's up, everybody? It's Chef Cynthia, chef of Soul Good Vegan Food Truck here in Dallas, Texas, owner of Chef Cynthia Eats, and I'm so glad that you guys are here to join me. I have had a wonderful 4th of July weekend. I hope you have too. This weekend I had an opportunity to travel to New York City and to relax and just decompress with one of my best friends, and we had a marvelous time. And as you know, every time that I get an opportunity to travel, I'm always looking for inspiration, trying different cultural foods, trying different restaurants, and seeing what's hot and what's not. And I had an opportunity to visit a restaurant called Beauty in Essex. It's a speakeasy in New York City, and it was the most beautiful place hidden behind a pawn shop. I didn't believe where we were going, but my friend wanted to surprise us. And lo and behold, when we went inside and past the front entrance and into this beautiful restaurant, we had an opportunity to try some amazing food. And one of the recipes, or one of the dishes that I was able to take advantage of and try, because as a vegan it is very difficult to find restaurants that also cater to the vegan community. And they had some amazing dishes, but one that really caught my eye was an apple miso cauliflower crispy taco. And I had to have it. I didn't know what it was going to taste like. I wasn't quite sure what the experience would be like. But when I tell you it was life-changing, I knew right then I had to bring this recipe to you all. And that's what I'm doing tonight. During the summertime, people love to travel. Well, we should say post-pandemic, people are now getting back out safely and traveling a great deal more now. And I can tell you that the city was busy and it was hopping, and there was lots of buzz and lots of things going on. And so I really got to thinking about how can I bring all of that experience and those flavors and the culture to the show today. And so with this recipe, I would call it a fusion. It's a fusion between Korean flavors as well as Latin flavors mixed together with a vegan treat. So let me introduce the ingredients to you that I'm going to be using tonight. Now let me tell you this is not a complicated dish. This dish is made with some ingredients that frankly I have never tried before. But when I went to the market today, and let me tell you now, I had to visit a couple of Korean or Asian grocers to be able to find these ingredients, but they were there, and I was really thrilled about that. One of them is a main ingredient in this dish called gochujang, and this is the secret ingredient, I guess you could say, for tonight's cauliflower dish. And so I was able to find this at one of the Korean markets here in Dallas, Texas, and hopefully you'll be able to find the same. Another main ingredient for this cauliflower taco dish is going to be wonton wraps. Wonton wraps are simply these rice and starch water wraps that, if made properly, can be very crispy and light and very delicious, and happen to be vegan. And so, however, instead of deep frying them to add fat and oil, I'm going to bake them in the oven to make them a little bit lighter. So I'm altering this dish from what I experienced in New York, but you will be able to deep fry yours if you choose to do so. I also am introducing a new flavor, a Korean barbecue sauce, into this particular dish as well. It's a marinade actually, and it's very, very tasty. Most of these are red chili pepper based ingredients or products. As a matter of fact, this is a hot red pepper paste that is brand new to me. I just actually was introduced to this in this recipe, or with this recipe, and so I cannot wait to see how this is all going to turn out. So another ingredient that I'm incorporating is a chili oil. This is a spicy little sucker. Really, really, really delicious and really filled with a lot of flavor. And however, it although has a hot kick to it, it still gives it a really, really yummy base to the dish. So those are a couple of the ingredients that I'm going to be including in this dish. Again, this is not a complicated dish. It's just incorporating new ingredients that you probably or may not have used before. But I was really surprised and impressed by the mixture and the infusion of the different cultural flavors in this dish. So let's get started. So first and foremost, what we're going to start with is going to be scallions. So finely chopped or diced scallions. I will be using this to start out with, along with green onions. And I wonder if you know that you can grow your own green onions right inside of your kitchen in a glass with water. So if you ever buy a bunch of green onions in the store and you save maybe 2 or 3 of the bulbs, place them in a little bit of water in a tall glass, and they will regrow within 2 days. So I have been saving a lot of money. If you know me, that means a lot to me, by simply just regrowing from the bulbs that I have from previous green onions that I bought, which is really awesome. Really, really great, because the flavor of these are magnificent. There's no difference, and it didn't take anything, just time, a couple of days, and you had a brand new bunch of green onions. Another ingredient is going to be one of my favorites. This is garlic, minced garlic that I got from the Korean store. Really, really, really delicious. Another secret that I learned just this week is you can freeze garlic to sustain it longer. So if you ever wanted to mince a bunch of garlic, you can freeze it and save it longer and use it for future recipes. That's a great trick. The last one is fresh ginger. I grated this before the show, but ginger is so amazing. I often tell people that if you ever feel that you're feeling a little melancholy, a little sad, or you just need a little pick-me-up, one of my favorite things to do is to chop up one of 2 things. Chop up ginger and just sniff it and smell it. Something happens, it just kind of reignites you and get the synapses going. I personally love the smell or the aroma, but some people may not. Another that I love to smell is cucumber. Cucumber does the same, and the last is cilantro. So that's just a side for you. If you ever feel like you just need a little pick-me-up, or you're getting a little sleepy at work, chop up some cilantro, well, if you're working from home, and just smell the aroma. It'll give you a boost and make you feel a little bit happier. All right, as well as being good for you. So now, those are 4 base ingredients. I also, prior to the show, had such a difficult time finding my own apple miso marinade. I couldn't find it anywhere here in Texas. They have it in New York, but I couldn't find it here in Texas. So I had to make my own. So tonight I made an apple miso marinade myself with several ingredients, and I'll post this recipe on my website chefcynthiaeats.com on the blog. That's where all of the previous recipes from the show are located and will be located each week. But I made my own. This is amazing. It's a great marinade for placing your vegetables in perhaps overnight to really create an enriched flavor to your vegetables, especially before grilling those vegetables. So try it at home. I'll place the recipe on my website on chefcynthiaeats.com. Apple miso marinade. Really, really delicious. So we're going to try that tonight. So let's get started. So first and foremost, we're making cauliflower tacos, okay? So of course we have cauliflower rice that we are actually just diced and chopped. So you can buy this frozen, as you already know. It works just as good. Just want to make sure that it's organic. At least I do. So let's get our induction range going here so that we can get the ingredients going. Alrighty, first and foremost, I'm going to start with the onions. Placing the scallions here into the pan. And a little bit of green onion to get that heated. And garlic. You know what? Just throw it all in there. Just throw it all in there. I'm putting it all in there. Let's go for it. Gives it a richer flavor. I'll save a little bit of the green onions for the end, for decoration. Next, I'm going to use some of my chili oil. Now, this has a spicy kick to it. However, once it starts to cook, that spice will calm down. Alrighty. Turn the heat up, literally and figuratively. Get this started. The smell is already amazing with this. We have green onions, we have scallions, minced, diced. Going together. I have plenty here to add to it. It's easy. You can crumble if you like. I'm frying this. Stir and mix. Ginger, garlic, and with the cauliflower and the red chili oil. Okay, so what you want to do is to cook down that raw cauliflower with the onions and the ginger together. And then we'll prepare to include the Korean marinade and the gochujang. And I choose low sodium soy sauce as well. It already smells amazing. This marinade could work really, really well. The gochujang, again, with your vegetables that you may want to grill, just insert them into perhaps a plastic bag and let them sit refrigerated overnight, not frozen, and then grill the next day. Or you can prepare like I'm preparing, or bake. It smells amazing. As you can see, I didn't place a lot of oil in this pan prior to stir frying the cauliflower with the onions, garlic, and ginger. I try each week to introduce a low fat, low calorie option to you. However, you can pour in not safflower, oil into the pan, whether it's olive oil or my favorite, grapeseed oil. That's the word, grapeseed oil. And you can put that first before the onions, before the garlic, before the ginger, and then you can stir fry your cauliflower in that first. So again, I try to introduce to you ways to make really tasty, flavorful dishes with less oil and less fat. However, you make it your own. That the cauliflower is starting to cook down. About a fourth of a cup of the barbecue marinade. Let's just tell you to stop. How about that? Alrighty, now soy sauce. I'm going to let that stir fry in that. Let me tell you, the tacos that I had in New York, when they brought them out, they were so beautiful. Such dark, rich flavor with a little bit of the green onion and scallions peeking through. It was an amazing, really, really an amazing dish. Very dark, deep colors with a very crispy wonton taco shell. And believe it or not, tacos with no cheese. You can do it. Trust me. So oftentimes, women are looking for recipes that they can make the night before, or maybe they can prepare on a Sunday and then save and meal prep for the week. This is a great dish, but because if you make this on a Sunday and you let that sit until Monday or Tuesday in your refrigerator, those flavors will continue to gel together and explode the second or third day. It's a really great recipe that can last you for a couple of days, and you can make plenty for your tacos. And the beautiful thing about it is that, again, it's low fat and low calorie. Very, very good. Now typically what you would do is just let this continue to stir in the sauce together and cook down, and it will become more of a thicker consistency. So you need to give it about, I would say, 15 to 20 minutes for them to cook together and for the cauliflower to soften. So you give it a little bit of time, be patient with it, and let those flavors just gel together and the cauliflower to soften. Try this at home. Now, while I'm waiting for this, I'm going to show you a trick that I learned for making wonton taco shells without deep frying them. You move this out of the way, and I grab my baking sheet or my cupcake sheet or pan. This really tripped me out, and I bet you're wondering what you're going to use that for. Wait and see. I made some for the show. I've turned my oven on to 350 degrees. I take my but essentially I'm just placing them in between the cups, stand them up. They would stand a little bit easier. And so instead I'm simply going to place them in the oven. Let's do it this way. See if it'll cooperate with me. There we are. Okay, I'm going to make the oven on to 350 degrees. I'll place these in the oven for about 6 to 8 minutes depending on your oven, and I wait till they are crispy and brown on the edges, and then I take them out, and typically they will be hard and they'll stand on their own. So give me a minute and I'm going to place these in the oven. Top shelf, 6 minutes. Alright, so next I'll come back, and our cauliflower is getting soft, great consistency. The aroma is amazing, and last but that's depth to this dish. smell the pepper. But believe it or not, it's not so hot and spicy where you would be reluctant. The flavor that is amazing. Alright, we'll continue to let that simmer a little bit longer as we wait for our taco shells. But in the meantime, of course, I've already made a dish prior to the show. For my plate, I'll begin to make some tacos for us. These are how our shells come out. But this is fine. They are still crunchy. They're still beautiful. Very light because there's no oil, as you can see. I didn't place any oil in it when I placed it there. I have a little miso. I'll add that to the end there. But in the meantime, thank goodness I didn't drop that. And I will drizzle I don't want that. I'll just do it this way. I'll drizzle a This is my apple miso, cauliflower, it is really an amazing dish. Let's get that. There we are. Very flavorful, very tasty, low fat, low calorie, great for you, and easy to make. I hope you guys try this dish. The recipe will be online tomorrow at chefcynthiaeats.com. I hope you have an opportunity to test this out and let me know what you think. You can share a photo of whatever you create on my Facebook or Instagram and tag me, Chef Cynthia Eats. I'd love to see what you create. Oh, this aroma is, it is so good. It smells so good. Try this. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Chef Cynthia Eats, or follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. I'll also be sharing a reel as well as a TikTok for this recipe as well. But this is a really great recipe. Enjoy. Be good.